Can you beat War Champion? That is the question we're asking today, but I already have the answer. No. I'm cheating and using the smarter AI mod in order to see if we can squeeze out a slightly better Min Towers record on Ruins of Acaroth this time. So, War Champion's record on this was originally 4 towers using Allure as his hero. Then when Tenchi was released, he was able to do this in just 3 towers. That just goes to show how useful Tenchi is for this specific challenge type. Once again, like I said in the Bandit Slayer video, because he gains XP at a pretty slow rate, so normally he might not be the best hero, but if you let the hero do a lot of the heavy lifting, they'll end up gaining a lot more XP, which is very useful because now we have a lot more XP for Tenchi, and when he scales up, he gets really strong. Like, even his level 5 like performance is pretty good, but when you see his level 8 performance and then his level 10 performance, ooh baby, he goes crazy. He goes sicko mode. He goes hog wild. Now, the main thing to keep in mind about this is that the challenge results should not be treated as some sort of metric for the performance of towers and such. I would say that there's some merit to them pointing out the performance of heroes, because the smarter AI on the heroes oftentimes just does give them like the targeting that you would try to force a hero to have with their abilities if you were just microing them. That's not necessarily the case with the towers though, because the difference between an insta-kill targeting first and then targeting the enemy who's got the most health in its range is so vast that there's no way they can actually force that to always happen in micro. Like, you just get way more efficiency on these things. So I think there's a bit more merit to the heroes because you usually can force them to be a lot better. That's kind of the case for me right now with Tenchi. I'm still microing him, so I'm still getting a lot of specific tricks and stuff going on to get him to do the best things that I possibly can get out of him. I'm going to wait a little bit on these reinforcements so that way I can desync the projectiles. And unfortunately, I actually messed that up. As you can see here, they're wasting their shots constantly, so that's not what you want. But whatever, I'll get the musketeers, and then these towers can actually handle all of this. So I'm just going to let that play out. We're going to stack up some reinforcements on this side. And then now that that's the case, I'm going to rain of fire. I get some nice meters over on this side. And then we'll have these reinforcements spawn over here in the outskirts, basically turning them into an archer tower in their own right, because they can be finessed into these spots that normally they shouldn't be allowed into. And now that Tenchi's untransformed, he can deal more damage. I do need to be transparent about this challenge though. So I have already made a couple of attempts on this off camera. It was on stream, but it wasn't on a Discord stream. Sorry, it wasn't on a YouTube stream. It was on a Discord stream. I'm getting ahead of myself here. So I realized that it was just better for my own mood that I stream it without having to do the commentary myself and rather just hang out with some people, because I wasn't in the best of moods at the moment that I started making attempts on this. And that's because the Discord server that I was in, which was the main Ironhide one, is getting a little bit unpleasant for my liking. You see, a lot of people, well, I shouldn't say a lot, but I also don't want to name names, so people have taken to getting rather critical of the hero tier list video that I made, that all heroes ranked worst to best, at least at the time, all heroes. The main issue with that whole topic of discussion is that I tend to lowball, or I happened to lowball certain heroes, and so people wanted to bring to my attention that those heroes are better than they actually are, but they are going about that in the most unpleasant of ways, like just making fun of me and saying oh, you absolutely butchered this hero and all these other things that just seems completely unnecessary to me. And it's fine to joke about stuff. Like I'll joke about it myself as well. Be like, oh yeah, I didn't realize that this hero was as powerful as I thought. And you know, I want to have a very helpful opinion to show to people. And so when I fail to do that, if anything, it's just unpleasant for me because I'm disappointed in myself rather than upset at the other people. But I will say that the way they are treating me is getting a bit too harsh. Like, I can't really have a civil discussion with people anymore. They themselves have said that they didn't even enjoy the last discussion that we had. So that kind of left a sour taste in my mouth when I was trying to have a legitimate discussion where, you know, we shared points. One of us, or ideally both of us, learns something from the discussion. But hearing that made it feel like the whole discussion itself was pointless. So that was a bit upsetting. And I would rather just go into the stream and attempt the challenge with like people that I already know I like talking to and hanging out with present to make the experience more enjoyable than just doing this on my own after having already felt like I wasted some time just trying to be objective about the heroes and then getting flack for it in a way. I don't know if I want to call it flack, but it seems like since the discussion itself didn't go in the direction that the other person was hoping for, it left a sour taste in my mouth. And it's not like I'm not used to negative comments. I get plenty already on that video of people saying that, like, you know, I butchered this hero or that hero, and I'm normally happy to discuss stuff like that as well, unless I'm feeling burnt out from Kingdom Rush, because, you know, sometimes, in fact, I would say that, like, those discussions, like the ones that I was just talking about, where people are saying that, like, I went too far in this hero or that hero, are so frequent that those ones do make me feel exhausted from Kingdom Rush as a whole. But besides that, though, I think that this kind of stuff revives my interest in the games. Like, right now, I feel more motivated than ever to do tier lists and such for the games, because I'm seeing firsthand, like, more similar to vanilla experiences, even if it's not exactly vanilla yet. I'll have to go back and playtest more stuff in order to get an opinion that I'm happy with. But, yeah, I would say that it's better for me to still post the opinions that I have at the time that I make those posts, so that way people at least have some first impressions that they can work off of, instead of making it a big deal that, like, you know, you need to be right, in quotation marks, right, about something immediately. I think the end goal should be understanding it. It shouldn't be, you shouldn't have to be right in the first place, as long as you're eventually right about something. And again, I'm using the term right very loosely, but, like, at least have all the knowledge there. Because there are so many more things that are true about the Kingdom Rush series that I wasn't aware of at the time that I made the video. Even with all the effort that I put into playing these games, there are still new mechanics and such. Like, very recently, a lot of people were shocked that the Ranger's hideout didn't have 8 max targets to begin with. Like, a lot of people didn't notice that. People that, you know, have played these games maybe even for more total hours than I have. So, you know, you just need to be able to adapt to that information. And I guess the main thing that was feeling overly harsh to me was that people were upset at me for not having known that to begin with and wanted to keep making jokes about it. So that gets a little bit annoying. Like, I'm not annoyed at the way I'm treated, but I'm more annoyed at people's mindsets themselves. Like, I don't like seeing people think that way, because, well, to be honest, I think it's pretty self-explanatory why that's annoying to see. But yeah, that's basically my big long spiel about the reason why I did some of this off camera. But I wouldn't be too worried about it, dear viewer, because this challenge is still going to have a bunch of crazy stuff in it that the other people watching the stream live got to witness as well. So, for instance, we're doing this in 2 towers, which is absurd. Like, I was surprised that the record was 3 towers. Like, I was expecting 4 towers, which I guess I was right because that's what it originally was with Allura. But yeah, Tenchi just really breaks this type of challenge. He's just that good at it. Kind of like how Magnus is particularly good at like barracks only challenges, because not only is he ranged, but he's a magic character, so he's going to be able to bypass the resistances that barracks don't normally have in Kingdom Rush 1, like a counter to, except for spiked armor, I suppose, but you know, it's spiked armor, bleh. I mean, spiked armor is still good, don't get me wrong, but it is only 10% reflect damage anyway. Also, I should get polymorph as soon as these gargoyles are done here, but first I need to soften them up just a little bit more, and I'll let Tenchi do a meteor on them as well. Actually, on the contrary, I'll just have him come over here. For the record, I didn't do that many attempts off the stream, I didn't do that many attempts in the Discord call. I just tried out 3 other combinations of towers. I had Ranger's Hatter plus Arcane Wizard at first, because my thinking was that the Arcane Wizard would be able to handle the Forest Trolls on Wave 19 better than any other tower, because it buys itself more time to charge the insta-kill, because it's got teleport as well. But no, it's actually the worst out of all the attempts that I did, not just because it was the first, but because those towers, even with smart AI, just aren't good enough to handle it. So Ranger plus Arcane didn't do too hot. I thought that the stalling combo would be good. It was not. Then I tried Rangers plus Musketeers, I think? Yeah, I tried that second. That was alright, but it wasn't it wasn't able to handle like the later parts of the level, because the Ranger's hideout was proving to be kind of inefficient. So then I went for 2 Musketeers with the hope that my like area damage from both shrapnel shots would be able to deal with the Orc Champions just fine. Because the Orc Champions, they take 40% of all physical damage, I think. Or actually, no. I forget how much armor they have. I believe it's like 80% though. So actually, yeah, they only take like a fifth of the physical damage being dealt to them. But thanks to explosive damage ignoring half of armor, they actually are taking 40% of the damage. And that's 40% of 720, which is 432. So they're actually nearly being one-shotted already, which is what led me to thinking that maybe 2 shrapnel shots would be good enough, because then we can just use burst damage to kill the Warg Riders and stuff. It would be good enough. But once again, no, that wasn't good enough. In fact, that was the next worst attempt. Let's see. Yeah, we can still get the extra meteor this way. That's very nice, very nice. Yeah, we'll get the spin to win at a good angle. There we go. I guess that does the trick. And now let's just stack up reinforcements over here. So this is the part where things already start getting crazy. Like, in my first attempt with the Rangers and the Arcane Wizard, they actually handled this, no lives lost. I was impressed, to say the least. Not to mention the rest of the people in the voice chat. Like, we were all like, there's no way that this is going to be able to handle it. And then it did handle it, and we were like, this is absurd. How the heck are we still alive now? Using the word "we" as if like other people are a part of this. I guess they are. They can backseat, give me advice if they think of anything. Okay, let's make sure we don't leak a sheep there. Spooky. And look at that. I don't even need a rain of fire, and we're actually handling this just fine. We're catching up with the wargs, if anything. Yeah, look at that. We dealt so much damage that we don't even need the shrapnel shot. Although now we need it. Okay, let's just oh, okay, that's annoying. I still hate steam moments. But, you know, it is what it is. Look at Tenchi's. He's taller than the elemental. But yeah, what we need to do is wait for this stupid ability to stop being active, so that way we can start preemptively damaging the War Grinders. So any day now, Tenchi will activate the meteors. Okay, there we go. And then he'll also transform. But you know, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Trust the process. Just the process. Yeah, we use Ring of Fire there. And yeah, this elemental is in a really bad spot because it's spending a lot of time, it's wasting a lot of time walking when it needs to be locking. And then yeah, we'll do this. We'll try to damage him like that. I'm also saving levels on the elemental because I don't want it to get killed at a moment that I need it alive still. So I'm going to use the emergency level up healing that it has. Let's move Tenchi over here and then do some more damage. To go into more analysis about the attempts here, the reason why I believe this works so well is because, as I was saying, you do 432 damage with the shotgun shot against these guys. And with the sorcerer to soften them up, you should just finish them off completely with that. Not to mention that it's lowering their armor, so they're going to take even more damage. So, on the assumption that these guys were even tankier, they still wouldn't be able to survive the onslaught that I have here. Anyways, let's use up all the abilities again and keep on softening up the War Grinders because that's pretty essential to this challenge, believe it or not. Those War Grinders are so like fast and tanky that we need to damage them early on. Otherwise, we're going to get overwhelmed. So let's just protect the elemental here. Yeah, we'll trigger that. And here's what I'm going to do. We're just going to try to get some useful meteors. And unfortunately, because of the nature of Tenchi's steam moments, I'm not going to be able to block those guys, and so they get separated, and then we have these weird, awkward angles of everything. But fear not, fear not. We're going to survive. We're going to make it. I just need to come over here and then do this. And now we just have to believe in Tenchi. And see, we got that level up on the elemental. And unfortunately, instead of waiting out the duration, we need to just walk him over here. Yeah, it's such a double-edged sword of an ability. Now we're going to try to block this guy so that way we can get more value on the meteors. And you see there, the reinforcements come up just in time for us to damage these War Grinders. So, pretty tight challenge. Although you could do that previous wave a lot more effectively. I messed up there because I panicked and got the reinforcements back here when I could have put them behind the strategic point of the tower, and that would have actually been a lot more effective because we could have damaged more of the oh, hold on, let's move over here. We could have damaged more of the enemies. Oh boy. And gotten the War Grinders down to Orc Champions. That way we wouldn't be so overwhelmed in that stage. So, you know, if we had even gotten just 2 of those guys down to Orc Champions, then it would have been fine. Luckily, this is not too big of a deal, though. We can just micro the elemental, make sure that it's blocking the right targets. We don't want it going anywhere that he doesn't belong. And now we just hold out until we get a good Rain of Fire. The juiciest of Rain of Fires. Yeah, a little tricky there, but the meteors will clutch up. Yeah, that elemental does not want to target anyone that he actually should be blocking. It's like there's just too little range. Like he's got just the small enough what's it called, rally range that he can't be used reliably. Well, luckily there's no War Grinders in this wave, so all we need to do is survive long enough. So let's just get 3 meteors here. And then, yeah, come back. That lava actually doesn't do anything, but whatever. And then we'll come over here. And yeah, we'll just transform, and then this should take care of everything. And then we'll get a nice Rain of Fire again. Nice and soon. And look at that, the insta-kills are actually synergizing with each other pretty nicely. Now the elemental is blocking the best target that he could possibly be blocking, and Tenshi's gonna actually kill that guy without us needing to use Rain of Fire. But I'm gonna need to use Rain of Fire anyways a little bit later, just because of this. And luckily the spears actually deal enough damage to kill that guy, believe it or not. Oh yeah, look at that satisfying shrapnel shot. And we're gonna take advantage of the sheep there in order to get the like target densest AI to work in our favor here. Now I actually thought that I was gonna need to skip ahead in some parts of this challenge because Ruins of Acaroth is just a longer level. Okay, looks like that wasn't necessary at all. Okay, good. And then get him out of there. And then here's what we're gonna do. We're actually gonna try to kill one of these guys right now. If I can just soften him up with some damage, that'll make a big difference. And despite the AI of Sniper Shot being arguably detrimental here, just because we have oh, hold on, let's do the transformation. Good. But yeah, the AI of this Shrapnel Shot still has the same features as other insta-kills. So it's going to target the highest health enemy in its range. We sometimes don't want that because it's not actually an insta-kill. It's a... oh my god, that AI. It's just a chance to insta-kill. So you see here, it's working fine. But let's say it fails to headshot an enemy and leaves them alive. Well then, we now have that enemy at like some amount of health, whatever is left over. Well, 40% if it fails. But these are force trolls. They're gonna regen their health. We don't want that. So we need them to die. And unfortunately that's not happening. Okay, yeah, tank one more hit. Good. And of course now the meteor spawn as soon as I try to get him to block something. And there we go. With our double insta-kill firepower, we're actually able to handle this just fine. We're going to block this guy right outside the range of the elemental. And I trust that this guy will die. So I'm just not going to let the elemental take damage there. And what do you know? So here's the crazy thing about this challenge. It's actually not possible. I lied. You can't do this no lives lost on veteran with just 2 towers, even with the smarter AI mod. Because these enemies here are going to get healed by Golthak. So unless you can one-shot them, they're going to break through. And unfortunately, you can't do that no matter what. Because, well, I guess you could have the Sorcerer lower their armor, but I can't think of a way that is satisfactory that will actually solve our problems here. Like, if you dedicate firepower to killing these guys, as I have done, and you need to because they're making it to the exit sooner than the like armored orcs, then you're in trouble. Look at that shrapnel shot, which is bad. Okay, here we go there. And then we need some meteors here immediately. Yeah, there we go. And then Tenshi should be able to handle this part, but we're still in trouble. We're not out of the woods just yet. Look at all the firepower we're gonna need. And those wars are gonna eat up some of the meteor targeting. Yeah, unfortunately those guys are just gonna make it through. We can stop ourselves from losing some lives though. Yeah, don't waste any firepower on those guys, please. Yeah, come on. We gotta get more of those guys blocked. And yeah, we have to let some of those guys through because otherwise we're dead to Golthak. And then here we need to have the elemental die. Okay, let all those guys through. And since the elemental is dead, we can start him respawning already. And now Tenshi's gonna exit his form soon. So let's just No, okay, that's quite unlucky still. Come on, Elemental. Are you targeting him? Okay, well, due to a steam moment, the Elemental exited the block range already. But here, we could just two-ta-ta to make sure that Golthak dies. Oh, no. Okay, come on. Yeah, there we go, that stalls him for a little bit longer. Man, Tenchi's walk speed is so bad. But I think we have him in a good loop right now. Nope, not quite. Yeah, he takes so long to attack. It's weird. I keep on expecting him to attack sooner than he actually does. But yeah, there we go. We still managed to get him. So GG, ended up getting this on the first retry of the level. I'd be curious to know if somebody can do a better job than me at this and maybe have a little bit less lives lost. But look at that. 20,000 gold left over on a veteran challenge. When else are you going to see that? Maybe in Frontiers if you're using Captain Blackthorn. But otherwise, that's the most gold that I've ever seen. At least in my own like gameplay. Maybe there's some like videos out there of people with more gold at the end of a level. But yeah, pretty crazy. So I hope this was enjoyable to watch. I'll see if it's possible to beat another one of like the minimum tower records on another level using the Smarter AI mod. So let me know if there's a certain level that you want to see next, and then I can look into prioritizing that one. Otherwise, I'll probably just go into the troll ones next, because those seem the most interesting to me, and then I'll increase the difficulty as I go along. So my projected order is that I'll probably do Serogaz's Lair after that, and then I'll look into doing all of the spooky stages that have the Wasteland theme and the Shadow Moon theme in them. I actually am expecting Rotten Forest to be one of the hardest ones to do min towers for, because the spike from the difficulty of waves 1 through 19 to wave 20 on that stage is massive. Green Muck is like one of the biggest difficulty spikes out of any of the bosses in the series, in my opinion. But anyways, that should just about do it. I hope you guys have a good day, and I hope to see you next time. See ya!